I am Maria Garcia de Fleury. There's a big difference between worshipping, adoring, and veneration. We Catholics venerate the Mother of God and are invited to imitate her virtues. The Mother of God, the Virgin Mary, is not worshipped. Only God is worshipped. Only God is adored. Veneration is directed at what it represents and has God as its final purpose. Saint Joseph, the Virgin Mary, as parents of Jesus, have always been venerated in a more special way than the saints and the angels. Venerating cannot be confused with idolatry. Idolatry is condemned by the commandments and by the Church. We venerate the Virgin, Saint Joseph, and the saints because they have stood out in their service, love, and dedication to God. When we venerate those who serve God and those who are at His side, we're glorifying God. Having devotion to the saints and the Mother of God is to express a feeling. Devotion to the Virgin Mary goes further, overcomes the barriers and limits of any human relationship, and expresses a feeling of deep and unconditional love towards God. The axis, the center of each person's relationship with God the Father Creator, which is the origin and purpose of our existence, is expressed in the worship of God. Worshipping God, adoring God, involves praying, praising, adoring, and giving homage to God. Worship is only for God, as Psalm 29 says. Give to the Lord the glory of His name. Worship the Lord in His majesty of holiness. God is only worshipped because we recognize His superiority, His greatness. The act of worship, of adoration, is so important that when Satan tempted Jesus, he offered him all the power in the world if he would kneel for a moment and worship him. And Jesus answered, Depart, Satan, for it is written, You shall worship the Lord our God, and Him only you shall worship. To worship God is to seek Him and find Him within ourselves, in our hearts. It is much more than just going to Mass on Sundays and praying. Friends, nothing and no one is worthy of worship, of adoration. Only God is adored. That is why we only pay veneration to the Virgin Mary, to Saint Joseph, to the saints, the angels, and the archangels. Catholics worship only God. We do not worship images or statues. We venerate what they represent. It is the same as the case of having a photo of your mother, father, or children and carrying them in your wallet or in a photo frame at home. We don't love the photo, but rather those who are in them. In the same way, Catholics love the Virgin Mary regardless of whether she's an image or a painting. The cult of Mary is based on these prophetic words. All generations will call me blessed, because the Mighty One has done wonders for me. She will be called blessed, not because her nature is divine, but because of the wonders that the Mighty One did in her. Mary never seeks to reduce the glory of her own Son, quite the opposite. Worshipping is the highest degree of praise. Venerating is just showing the maximum possible respect for someone, recognizing their virtues and admiring their abilities without actually worship them. Let's venerate the Mother of God because God wanted to have a mother, and He knows more than us because He is God, and with God we always win.